Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in Amrutanubhava chapter 5 and verse number OV number 33, and we are looking at how is Ananda or bliss defined. Here it was told that normal tendency is to conceptualize it as an experience. Ananda is not an experience. It is because of Ananda that experience is possible. This is what we were explaining last week. When we are conscious about our continuous existence or of our existence, the resultant is Ananda. That Ananda, if you take it as Paramashiva, how would I put it? Paramashiva, I have to use the correct words, otherwise you will get a wrong connotation should not be there. Okay, let me put it the other way. Ananda is the expression of conscious existence. Okay, that's better. Ananda is the expression of the resultant expression of the conscious existence. So, truly speaking, our life that is going on as we see it, which is our mind. Life is not this outside world. The whole world is in our mind. So, this mind, when it has come into expression, when has it come into expression? It's a phenomena. So, is this phenomena, has this phenomena come out of duress? Has this phenomena come out of frustration? Has this phenomena come out of agitation? Has this phenomena come out of ignorance? Or is this phenomena in essence nothing but an expression of bliss? Think in this way. Put it another way, gross comes from subtle and subtle comes from causal. There is gross, subtle and causal. Gross is the Anandamaya waking, subtle is the dream, and the cause of both is the deep sleep. And where do you experience the maximum bliss? In the waking or in the dream or in the deep sleep. So what is that deep sleep? The deep sleep is nothing but the Ananda, nothing but the Ananda. So when we go to deep sleep, we are with one with ourselves. The only thing is, because we are not aware of our own essential nature, we take it to be ignorant sleep. Because we are still attached to the world, we are still attached to the body, we are still attached to whatever. Remember, the whole, whatever we see, Jeev, Jagat, Ishwar, it is nothing but one, appearing as three: water, wave, and ocean is one, but appearing as these three different names, but actually it is one, water only. Same way, this Jeev and Jagat, for Jagat there is no Ishvara, for Ishvara there is no Jagat. It is for the Jiva, the individual, who feels he was born in this world, who gets identified with this body, who has a axe to grind in this world, perform some actions, achieve some results. And to achieve results and success in this world of names and forms, he uses, from where did this world come about, he says, who can help me to get what I want from this world? So, the Ishvara. So this Ishvara is for the Jiva, this Jagat is for the Jiva. But for the Jagat, there is no Jiva, there is no Ishvara. Because Jagat is inert. And Ishvara, who is Chaitanya Swarup, who is nothing but the nature of consciousness, for him, everything is he alone. Everything is he alone. So for him also there is no Jiva and there is no Jagat. See? So the whole issue is with this individuality. Just as the Lord's potentiality is called as Maya, Shakti, Lakshmi, Saraswati, whatever, the potentiality, and that potentiality alone has become the whole world. Similarly, what is our potentiality? The potentiality of the self is the mind. And this mind alone has become the whole world, is expressing as the whole world. Our problem is, our mind is not in a happy state. It is in a state of doership. It is in a state of enjoyership. It is in a state of limitations and conditionings. So what has happened? Because we have taken those limitation and conditionings and names and forms to be real, this Atma that I essentially am has been hijacked, has become grossified, has become crystallized, as if just like a woman is crystallized as a wife with reference to husband. The woman is crystallized as mother with reference to children. This Atma has got crystallized as I thought with reference to Idam, the world. The conditionings, the limitations. And the drama continues. So we have to undo all this. What is undoing? Undoing is not realizing the self, because you are already the self. Just like woman, the wife is already the woman, mother is already the woman. So this individual, what he will do? I have to know the self, I have to know the self. Well, you are already the self. Then what is to be done? Then you have to undo the limitations. Whatever that you have identified with and become crystallized into a personality, that needs to be melted away, that needs to be dissolved. We have to reformat our mind, and this is the reformatting that is going on, that our potentiality, just like Lord's potentiality is of the nature of bliss, similarly the potentiality of the Atma is the mind, This mind is the material that has gone into making it is nothing but bliss. So all thoughts coming in the mind are expressions of the bliss alone. Then where is the place for us to be miserable, us to be elated, us to be depressed? And therefore the scriptures keep telling us that let every action be an expression of ananda, be an expression of the self or expression of bliss. Don't perform action to gain bliss, to gain joy. If I eat that vegetarian cake, then I'll be happy. If I have this bucket list to be completed, then I'll be happy. When I have so much money in my account, then I'll be happy. If I attend the satsang, then I'll be happy. If I take the name of the Lord, then I'll be happy. All this must be done, but don't put all your eggs in one basket, in these type of baskets. What is happening? You are postponing the bliss. So if I think that after I speak on this satsang, in this satsang on this topic, then it will give me joy, I have postponed the bliss. Then what should it be? That whatever is coming out of the mouth, at this very moment, our observation, our disposition should be that this is an expression of the bliss that the self is. Because self is not other than the mind. Mind without thoughts is self. Self with thoughts is consciousness. With thoughts is mind. Then how can, if consciousness alone is expressing as the mind, then how can the contents of the mind be other than the bliss? How can it be other than the bliss? Think. But this is where we are going wrong in our life. Continuously seeking contentment, happiness, joy from things and beings, from situations and experiences. No, every experience is an expression of ananda. If you know it, it is called realization. If you don't know it, then it is called individuality. Then it is called deep sleep. So, when can you know it? In the future? In the past? No, right now. Right now. That whatever this interaction is going on, you are able to see, you are able to hear, you are able to understand, you are able to breathe. All this is expression of the bliss alone. When that happens, individuality, because your attention is on the higher. Higher is bliss, higher is consciousness, higher is the witnessing. Then what happens? Then whatever content of the mind is, sukha dukkha same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yuddhyasva. Then in joys and sorrows we are equanimous. In gain and loss we are equanimous. In war and peace we are equanimous. No reaction. Remember, these words are the explanation or his narration, Sant Jnaneshwar Maharaj's narration of his abidance in realization. So we have to raise ourselves to that level, get into his shoes, think the way he is thinking, not expect him to come down to our level. He does by giving you various examples to come down to our level. But don't remain stuck at the examples, because no example is absolute. All examples are temporary, all examples are finite. No, nothing in this creation can ever do justify or give the correct assessment of the reality, because words are limited. Bliss is the absence of knower known difference. Bliss is the absence of knower known difference. So this is how Mahatmas live. They allow the known to be expressing, but there is no knower born. See, this is a way of speaking, because we have to communicate. It's like the husband, the wife, what do you call? That the husband is there, but the wife is not born. Is that possible? Not at home. Is it possible after divorce? No, you will say that is the ex-husband, or you will stop using the ex also, because you no longer consider yourself to be the wife, because the reference is gone. Knower is born only with reference to known. Known cannot exist without the reference of the knower. Independently they cannot. But are you the knower of something, or are you the absolute consciousness which knows everything without thinking? Think. Are we ready to take that challenge to evolve to that level? Consciously. Because that is our true nature. Or are we going to remain and sabotage our true being by accepting ourselves to be with reference to something or someone? This is the challenge. Spirituality is not for the faint-hearted one. You need courage. You need inner strength. You need self-confidence to go against the grain of the world, to go against the grain of the common mindset. And many people are able to, but very few people are able to reach it. You require that immense mumukshutvam, deep desire to be the truth. Then only we will overcome all the obstacles. Like yesterday, the US Open, this young girl, 18-year-old, 150th ranking. She didn't lose one single set from the beginning of the US Open, reached the final, won the match. Requires grit, requires deep self-confidence, requires a doubtless disposition. No sabotage, inner sabotage. No self-sabotage, I should say. How many people you have heard from 150th rank they have come to win the finals? Only few. I think Boris Becker was one. See? So are we one of them? But for that, 24/7, our contemplation is switched on. Contemplation meaning we are ever aware of our own being in spite of everything going on in our life. Bliss is when the knower chit and the known Sat stop qualifying each other, this absence of mutual limitation is Ananda. Chit the knower and Sat the known. So it is I the knower, let's put it in that way, I the knower and Idam, Aham the knower, Idam the known. So it is I am the seer and you are the seen. I am the speaker, you are the heard, you are hearing. I am speaking to you. When this difference vanishes, Vaikhari or the waking world is where the knower and the known difference is stark, they are separate from each other. In dream, the knower is also a thought and the known is also a thought. In deep sleep, the difference between the knower and the known is absent under a spell of ignorance, is unexpressed. It's there as a seed, but the seed hasn't sprouted into shoot and root, the knower and the known. This we have to bring about slowly, slowly. I've just given you, in the waking, knower and known are separate. In dream, knower and known both are thoughts. In deep sleep, both are in the seed form. And in the Turiya, they are one and the same. You've gone beyond the seed. You've gone beyond the cause. This we have to trace back or recognize within ourselves. Knower is qualifying the known. What is qualification? Qualification is, I know this is a laptop. Qualification of, this is a phone. Phone is not laptop. This is a laptop. I know this is a laptop. I am not the laptop. This is qualification. And this is going on with everything. Laptop has got no existence for itself. Laptop is for someone. Within the laptop, the Zoom app has got no purpose for itself. That Zoom app is for someone to use, express, communicate. And who can communicate through it? Who knows how to use the app? So I am the knower of the app. This is the equipment, and in this there is this app through which I am communicating. So I have qualified this Zoom app. Now apply this to the same thing. You are the knower and you have qualified what? The mind. What is mind? It is the iCloud. And in that iCloud there are many apps. What is the app? The family app, the possession app, the investment app, the age app, the fear app, the anger, greed, jealousy, etc. app, the aspiration app, the bucket list app, the desire app. So many apps are there in the iCloud, which is called your, what is iCloud? Your mind. And you keep opening the apps and giving them importance. You are not recognizing that you don't need an app in order to express, because you are all that there is. You have imagined that there are two where there is only one. And this you know very well. Where it is required, you bring this rule and use it perfectly. You stand in front of the mirror, you see two, you yourself here and the reflection there, but you never get lost in the some foolish people are there who get lost in the reflection and sit in front of the mirror for hours together. But Even if they spend that much time in front of mirror, they never get lost into the reflection. Whatever they are working, they are they are working on the original one. They are not working on the reflection. So now what has happened there? The person standing in front of the mirror has given qualification to the reflection. If it takes the reflection to be real, individuality. If you take the reflection and give it zero value, then you are living with awareness. See? So don't go around qualifying. This is what we do. This is an angry person. This is a jealous person. This is a intelligent person. This is a wise person. This is a mad fellow. This is a criminal. This is that. This is that. This is COVID. This is the Delta variant of the COVID. This is the chief minister. This is the prime minister. They are foolish. They are intelligent. We keep qualifying them. And we do the same thing with ourselves. How? I am this body, I am this right leg, I am this left leg. You don't say it, but you are taken. I am the walker, I am the seer, I am the hearer, I am the toucher, I am the taster, I am the thinker, I am the waker, I am the dreamer, I am the sleeper. This is qualification. You are qualifying the object of experience. When we stop doing this, and I told you last week, there are two ways to stop doing this. Either you separate Adi Shankaracharya way. The first part of Shankaracharya is Neti Neti. I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. I am the conscious principle. And the second part, which is Anvay, this is what is Ishwar Advayavad, Kashmiri Shaivism. It's all inclusiveness. So what is all inclusiveness? When two people come together, they feel at one with each other. When you become one with the food which was separate to you, you feel satisfied, you feel content. You have a desire for something, and once what you desire becomes one with you, water, food, any desire, that very moment the desire goes away. The separation between the knower and the known is obliterated, it's dissolved. And for that speck of a moment, for that one moment, there is bliss. And that is what you call as satisfaction, contentment, fulfillment. But it's only momentary. In the waking world, it is only momentary. How can we make it into a permanent state? That is our nature. Ananda, bliss, contentment, fulfillment, satisfaction, happiness. It is our nature. Then why am I shortchanging myself by experiencing it only some moments and rest of the time I am miserable? With this question you must ask yourself. That is there a possibility to be that bliss incarnate as the saints and sages are? Is it possible? Our scriptures say this is the birthright of every human being. But that human being has to make that choice. And for that what do you require? Vivek, Vairagya, Shatka Sampatti and Mumukshutvam. Discrimination, dispassion, the 6 qualities of Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan, and intense desire to liberate. It is possible. The choice is given to every human being. Either you can live as a lazy bum, or you can live like an animalistic life, or you can live aspiring for heavens, or you can realize yourself here and now, not sometime in future. This entire buffet is presented to you. You have to choose. God doesn't choose for you. Because from God's point of view, you are not other than Him. You think you are other than God. You think you have to reach God. You think you are not realized. You think you are an individual. All this thinking is your problem, not His problem. It's not even the problem of the self. It is the problem of the ghost called the ego. So we have to, when the knower chit, consciousness, and the known sat, the existence, meaning the objects, stop qualifying. So this qualification business doesn't stop here. Then you say, I am Sattva Chitta Ananda Swarupa. So I am Sat also, I am Chit also. Oh, I am consciousness, I am existence. Yes, I am consciousness also. But as long as this consciousness and existence, these two remain only a concept in the mind, till then bliss will not spurt forth. Existence you are in essence, not in thought, not in conviction. In essence, your nature. Consciousness, you are by nature. Existence is continuous. Have you ever been absent? Have you ever been absent in your life? Waking, dream, and deep sleep, they keep becoming absent every day. When one comes, the other is absent. Other two are absent. But can you say, I have been absent? No, never. Have you been inert or have you been conscious? Throughout your life you have been conscious. You have known that you are existing throughout your life. Where is the doubt? The doubt comes, I have been existing all my life, but the body has not been healthy all the time. Hunger has not been fulfilled all the time. Desires have not been fulfilled all the time. Now what has happened? You have, instead of Sat, the existence that you are, you have appropriated the existence to the body, to the desires, to the objects, to the experiences. That's where we make the mistake. We become extroverted in approach. This is called objective pursuit. If you keep listening to these satsangs, in satsangs it will be nice. You will feel good also, and one must listen also. But rest of the day, rest of the week, we are with ourselves. That time we have to be absolutely aware of our own being. That is the time that you have to get into the water and start swimming. Then only you will learn how to swim. Mere theory is not enough. So bliss is when the knower and the known, Chit and Sat, stop qualifying each other. Subject is because of object, object is because of subject. Both are imaginations in the mind. As thoughts, both are imaginations. When we, through our inquiry, come to recognize that I and that, Sat and Chit and Sat, the knower and the known, not the objects of the world. We are coming to know ourselves. I, the subject, wants to know the subject. So now the object for the subject has become the subject itself. The aham normally wants to know the idam. Now, the all idams have been worked out that they are temporary. Who is permanent? I have never gone out of existence. Now, in the place of idam, you are putting aham. Now, the aham is looking, wanting to know the aham. That is when consciousness and existence become one. The qualification stops. As long as there is idam, as long as there is objective pursuit, qualification will continue. When we take it as a subjective pursuit, that is the only place, that is the only way to dissolve the consciousness, Sat and Chit, into one. Take for example, can the colors and forms ever come to know the vision? Can the vision from your eyes ever illuminate the eye itself? Can the so no, they can't. Can the five senses illuminate the mind? No. So all that was idam, I was the aham. All the five senses were the idam, mind was the aham. All the thoughts in the mind, can they illuminate the source of the mind, the self, the conscious principle? No. These are the contemplations. Take with this. So you keep thinking, gone. Gone, not in ignorance, in bliss. The absence of mutual limitation is ananda. Where two appears, where duality and dualism appears, there ananda, which is infinite in nature, becomes finite joy. Where there is two, joy, the bliss becomes blisters. Where there is one, blisters become bliss. If you can understand the point. Conditioning is dependence, and all dependence is misery. Sarvam paravasham dukkham, and sukham is independent conscious existence. Atma vasham sukham. Two statements from Mahabharata. Sarvam paravasham dukkham and atma vasham sukham. When we are thinking about para, when we are extroverted, it can, all you will get is misery. And when we are self-oriented, atma vasham, vasham can also be taken as influenced by, under the clutches of, thinking of, identified with. So para, when we are identified with extrovertedness, then it will only give you dukkham. When you are identified with the self, happiness, sukham is the result. When there is two, the dependency is there. Object is dependent on the subject, subject is dependent on the object. And then this dependency then develops into many tentacles. What is the tentacles? First tentacle is karta and bhokta, doer and enjoyer. Then that doer then develops more tentacles, that enjoyer develops more tentacles, positive and negative, because that's the way of the phenomena. See? So always aspire for independent living. Don't be dependent on the government, on the dole, on other people, on your children, on your husband, on your wife. No, be totally independent. If they help, fantastic. If they want to do something with love for you, fantastic. But don't expect it. This is our way of Sanatana Dharma. That even after brahmacharya, when we are in grahastha, that independence is maintained. So that when vanaprastha comes, we are very easily able to click out of the dependency, which was required till the children grew up. But we are intelligent than the scriptures, We remain dependent till the last breath on the husband, on the wife, with the children, with the grandchildren, and think we are intelligent. It may make you rich, everything is going well for you, but are you having peace of mind? Have you come to know yourself as you are? For that we have to give up dependency, because self is independent. Self is not dependent on the thoughts. Self is not dependent on the panchakoshas, the 5 sheaths. The self is not dependent on the 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, earth. Self is not dependent on anything. Why? From self's point of view, there is nothing. Only it is. So how can it be dependent? From the water's point of view, there is only water. It is not dependent on the ocean for its qualification or a wave on its qualification. From space point of view, only space is. Space is not dependent upon air, fire, water, earth for its existence. It is independent of them. Same way, gold is not dependent on ornaments for its existence. Gold is independent, whether there is ornament or no ornament. Same way, who am I? I am that independent entity. I am that independent, conscious, blissful, continuous existence, which is not dependent on any object, any known, any waking world, dream world, deep sleep. Nothing I am dependent on. I am as I am. But this has to be practiced in your daily life. Consciously, we do not depend on anyone. We wash our own dishes, we clean our own room, we brush our own teeth, we wash our own clothes, we iron our own clothes. It will keep you fit also. It will keep you mentally fit also. And you will have zest for life that way. Because where you are dependent, and if that person whom you are dependent on, or that object you are dependent on, doesn't meet your standards, then frustration comes. Then you will start bad mouthing the other person. If I am using a walking stick to walk and the walking stick breaks, I'll blame the walking stick. If I'm waiting for someone to come and clean the house, that person calls in sick, then whole week goes without cleaning the house, because you are not going to do it, you are dependent on that fellow. You will blame that fellow, you will be irritated, you will be agitated, you will be frustrated. Why? The house was dirty for the whole week. Okay, if that person didn't come, do you have what it takes to do the job yourself? That is independence. You are not dependent on that person. It's a good convenience. Now, once we start applying it in our daily life in the outside world, slowly, slowly bring it in. I'm not dependent on my senses. I'm not dependent on my thoughts. I'm not dependent on the convictions. I am as I am. Slowly, 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 keep going back to who you really are. Start weaning yourself off, just like a small baby is weaned off the mother's breasts, mother's milk. He doesn't want to. But then slowly, slowly, every now and then you introduce the bottle and forex and a little bit of mashed food and otherwise imagine 2-3 year old baby still holding on to the breast of mother. This is how we are, holding on to the body. बुढ़े हो गए, मरने को आ गए, बॉडी जाने को तैयार है, पर अभी तक छोड़ेंगे नहीं बॉडी को. See? Dependent. We have to recognize in this lifetime that we are not dependent on the waker, dreamer, sleeper, waking world, dream world, deep sleep world for our existence. We are not dependent on these 5 sheaths for our existence. We are not dependent on this world for our existence. We are not dependent on the mind for our existence. Equation is the other way. I am as I am. All this is expanse of me alone, of the self alone. This transformation must come in this lifetime. For that, consciously you have to keep applying. You have to accept that you are. Are we ready to take that responsibility that I am everything? The thought of responsibility comes, I am everything means, my God, this whole creation with good and bad and the ugly and the criminals and the murderers, all this is me alone. It becomes a big responsibility. Because you're still thinking of the world. You're still thinking of the manyness. But you forgot one link there. What is that? From water's point of view, there are no oceans and waves. From gold point of view, there are no ornaments. From the self point of view also, there is nothing called world of names and forms. So where's the question of responsibility? And even if you take the position of Ishvara, Ishvara alone has become everything through his potentiality, and his potentiality is of the nature of bliss. So if you are experiencing the waking, dream, deep sleep, it is an expression of bliss because it is only the mind expanding into these 3, and that mind is nothing but your potentiality. And you have come to realize yourself. The phenomena of mind will continue as long as this body is there. But once you have come to be who you are, I am as I am, then that mind is an expression of the bliss. It is not expression of identification. It's not an expression of misery, dukkham. So develop this all-inclusive vision. All-inclusive vision is only possible when we come to be the one. And from that point we look at everything. And when we look at everything, we see only ourselves. We don't see everything. We only see ourselves. Discovery of the independence in conscious existence is called Ananda. See, discovery of independence in conscious existence. So is it possible that once we have come to know, we can jump back into the world? Yes, it is possible. Ishvara also does the same. His potentiality created the world of sattva, rajas, tamas, from causal to gross. Every now and then, because the nature of the phenomena, it's asthirata, it's never stable. Sometimes it is the sattvic, sometimes it is rajasic, sometimes it is tamasic. And because this world, this phenomena always works in opposites. If there is sat, there will be asat, there will be chit, there is achit. Similarly, there are good people, there will be bad people. And through our Puranas, we come to see that Ishvara every now and then takes avatar, he incarnates. Paritranaya sadhunam, for dharma he comes, for righteousness, for establishment of the truth. But when we see that Lord, you read Ram Gita or you read Bhagavad Gita, what do you see? That Lord Krishna, who is an avatar of that Ishvara, so he has given up his, has he given up his abidance in conscious existence? No. He has not given up his conscious existence. He is continuously aware of his nature. Yet he has taken a form in this phenomenal creation. And he is talking and he is doing whatever is required to be done for full 128 years. But from the time of birth till the conclusion, he never forgot who he is. And this we see abundantly in the Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, who can give you a Bhagavad Gita from the Karma Yoga to Dhyana Yoga to Karma Sannyas Yoga to Bhakti Yoga to all the various yogas, from the gross to the subtle, and takes you all the way to Moksha Sannyas Yoga. Who can give? Only one who has the total vision, who knows who he is, and yet comes not because he wants, it's because there is a demand. Because there is no desire in the Lord. In the Ishvara, there is no desire. You don't have a desire to express as a mother. But if the child calls, immediately the mother will come out of you. If the thought of the child comes, immediately the mother will start expressing. Similarly, the Ishvara also. There must be some reference. Only then the Ishvara. Same way, Mahatmas also, they are abiding in the self, and they, without losing the self, they continue to play the game at the phenomenal level. Are we playing the game at the phenomenal level, or are we dependent on the world, on the government, on the body, on the senses, on the mind at the phenomenal level? Or are we master of all this? Are we beyond all this? Have we transcended all this? See, this is the great game. And this opportunity to be the one without a second is only in the human realm. Not in the plant kingdom, not in the animal kingdom, not in the God kingdom, only in the human kingdom. Discovery of the independence in conscious existence is called Ananda. So what is discovery in conscious existence? In spite of subject-object, aham idam functioning in the mind, because that's the phenomena, you cannot stop it. the waker and the waking world, dreamer and the dream world. This will continue even after realization. So, why wait for realization? Why can't you see this? That I am not disturbed by, I am not dependent on waker and the waking world. I am not dependent on the dreamer and the dream world. I am not dependent on the sleeper and the sleep world, absence of the two. Then who am I? I am the undisturbed one. I am the witness. I am the eternal witness of the coming and going of these three pairs, waker waking world, dream world, and dreamer dream world, and sleeper absence of the two. Every day they come and go. I am the independent one. Maintain that position. They will continue to come because you have realized they will not stop. They will continue to come. Similarly, because a person has realized, he doesn't stop thinking. The mind doesn't stop thinking because of realization. The hunger doesn't stop. The thirst doesn't stop. The bladder pressure doesn't stop. The digestion doesn't stop. The blood flowing in the veins doesn't stop. If the headache has to come, it will come. If disease has to happen to the body, it will happen. But there is no owner of that disease now. In you and me, there is an owner of the disease. We have qualified that disturbance as a disease, as a pain, as an unhealthy experience. But in Mahatma, it does not matter. Have we come to that position? And that position is possible in this life. We have to apply. So, what did the last sentence? Discovery of independence. Discovery of independence means discovery of independence from the phenomena. Phenomena is where there is two, duality or dualism. Aham and idam is inside, and all the opposites are outside. Day and night, inside, outside, back, front, top, bottom, good, bad, likes, dislikes, joy, sorrows, all opposites. They will continue, but you are not affected because you are not giving them validity, you are not owning them, you are not becoming the miserable person, you are not becoming the good person, you are not becoming the happy person. You are remaining a witness. Discovery of independence from these two, from the duality, from the, where are we? Discovery of the independence in conscious existence is the bliss. Consciousness, aham. Existence, idam. Both of them are expressions of the Chidabhas, the reflected consciousness. Both of them. Just like husband and wife. Husband and wife, how can I say? Mother and daughter. Both are expressions of the woman. Can you remain a woman even while mother and daughter are expressing? Then you will never be emotionally in turmoil because of the mother or because of the wife. You'll always maintain the poise. That is maturity. That is wisdom. Apply the same thing inside. In spite of the expressions of aham idam, we remain equanimous, we remain eternal witness, undisturbed by the coming and going of the thoughts, by coming and going of the subject and object. by coming and going of, well, not coming and going, we remain undisturbed in spite of or in and through conscious existence, because we are conscious existence at this moment. I am conscious and I am existing. Don't get excited by it, don't get depressed by it. Oh, just now I realized, where did it go? No. Yahoo, I got it! And next moment, push. No. Undisturbed. So Sant Jnaneshwara says, after the Dvandva, the pairs of opposites has disappeared, and after Dvaita, the dependence of subject-object relationship, the relative existence has been transcended. Then what remains is the one without a second. Exactly what we just explained. Dvandva is the outside, Dvaita is inside. Outside, what is it? Pairs of opposites. Day and night, inside, outside, is all outside. And what is inside? Aham idam. Subject, object is inside. So when I took you through this, that all the colors and forms, you come to the eye. From the five senses, you come to the mind. In the mind, what is mind? Nothing but play between subject and object. Then you go beyond the subject and object. Then you have transcended the subject and object. You cannot straight away transcend the Dvandva which is outside. It's very difficult. Because you go beyond one, next one is ready. So you have to find the source of all opposites outside. What is the source of all opposites outside? The subject and object in your mind. Aham and idam. You have to recognize all thoughts are not out there in the world. All thoughts are in your mind. You have to recognize that this, you are the I who is taking on the role of seer, hearer, toucher, feeler, thinker, father, mother, daughter, sister, etc., etc. All these are your abhivyaktis, are all your expressions. And this I also is not permanent. It's continuously changing as thought. But do you feel you are changing with every thought? Do you do you feel that you are changing when the seer changes to hearer, hearer changes to something else? Do you feel you are changing when waker changes to dreamer, dreamer changes to sleeper? No, the natural question will be, then who am I? Am I the changing one or am I the not changing one? If I am not the changing one, then who is this real me? This type of inquiry takes us beyond the subject and object. To go beyond the Dvandvas, in the yoga it was told, control your senses, control your mind. All that is necessary because first challenge, you can't straight away go into the mind without handling the outside. You cannot go to sleep if you have not resolved the day. You have to withdraw from the day. Without withdrawing from the day, you cannot go to sleep. Similarly, without withdrawing from the outside, you cannot go into meditation and be silent. It's not possible. So first resolve the outside. For that the yama and niyama are told. When outside is handled, then you come to your body. Then body has to be handled, that it doesn't become a problem. Then asana is told. Then we go even inside. Then pranas are continuously changing and erratic. Then pranayam is told. When outside world, body and pranas are to a large extent quietened down, automatically the mind also is quietened down to a large extent. Now on this mind we can function, we can apply, we can think, we can give it direction. Before it was at the mercy of the world, of the Dvandvas. Wishful thinking will not bring this about. We have to apply subjectively. Then what remains is the one without a second. And when we have gone beyond all the opposites outside, we come to the opposite within, subject object. And when we transcend, meaning do not get disturbed by the appearance or disappearance of the thoughts, meaning we do not get disturbed by presence or absence of thoughts. In other words, when we remain witness to the presence and absence of thoughts, then one day, by grace of God, your attention will go, who is this witness? Who am I who is watching, who is not disturbed by the presence and absence of thoughts? Story over. In fact, the story begins now. And what is that story? Now your Leela will begin. Till now it was the Lord's Leela, now your Leela will begin. Because now you are not other than the divine. You are established in the self. Only once, not again and again. Only once. Are we up for the challenge? The fact that you are interested in these type of contemplations shows two options we can think of. Either we missed the chance in our last life because of our value giving to the world, maybe we're caught up somewhere. But we must have been a seeker, we must have been contemplating, we must be going to satsangs, but we didn't complete the journey. So whatever your obsessions were, they got worked out in your life till now. And from whenever time you have got interested in satsang, again it came forth, again life brought you back to what your original plan was. Because unfinished desires had to be taken care of first, because individuality was there. This is one way of looking at it. But do we want to make the same mistake next time again, thinking that there is continuity, that again okay, I'll do my best in this life, otherwise next life is there anyway. Why you want to wait for next life? Again in the womb, again A, B, C, D, E, E, again getting married, again having problems, again rearing the children, again working hard and complaining and misunderstandings and judgments and irritations and agitations. That is not joy, that is not bliss. Continuously thinking of your children is not joy. It is infatuation. It makes you anxious. It makes you worried. So it is not fulfilling. Don't give it a name called fulfillment. Think. There is no difference of knower known, sukha dukkha, gain, loss, joy, sorrow. This transcending of the dvandva is the very basis of the whole Bhagavad Gita. I told you, sama dukkhe sukhe krit, sukha dukkha samay kritva, labha labhav jaya jayav. The knower known difference is only a perceived difference. The sukha dukkha is only perceived. Perceived by who? By the perceiver. Who is the perceiver? Ego. Perception happens through senses, emotions happen through mind, thinking happens through intellect. Ego is equal to perceiver plus feeler plus thinker. He who has taken all perceptions to be mine, all feelings to emotions to be mine, all thinking to be mine, and we know at any given moment there is only one thought appearing in the mind and going away. So who is this fellow who is saying all the perceptions are mine, all the emotions are mine, all the thinking is mine? It must be a ghost. Give it up. Let it go. And how do you let it go? By giving zero value to the opposites, by giving zero value to the thoughts, in spite of the thoughts expressing. Nobody is saying stop being the children will come in front of you, mother will express. But to become emotional as a mother or remain aware of the motherhood expressing, that is your choice. And this also you have done when your children were crying when they were small. Initial stages you used to react to every cry of the child. But as the child was growing, every time the child cried, you did experiments. You did not react to the cry of the child, and you found a new way to remain, to conserve your energy. And what was that? From the corner of the eye you will look at the child but not give it complete attention. It will cry for 1 or 2 seconds and immediately find some other way of entertaining him itself. And you discovered freedom. Now I can continue doing what I am doing rather than get distracted by every cry of my child. Apply the same rule for your mind. See, it's that answers are there, but are we thinking in that with that understanding? This transcending of the Dvanda is the very basis of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Transcending these pairs of opposites, one gets established in pure, non-dual, self-existent consciousness, bliss, real, absolute happiness. Real, absolute happiness is the discovery of one's own independent existence. When we stop living a reactionary life, when we stop living a life of मैं तू तू, मैंने ये कहा तूने ऐसे कहा मैं ऐसे कहा, no comparison, no competition, no reaction. तुम एक बोलोगे तो मैं 2 सुनाऊंगा. Not like that. If you say 1, I'll tell you 2. If you tell me 2, I'll tell you 4. Then eventually it leads to an argument. It leads to misunderstanding. It leads to judgment. It leads to animosity. It leads to fear. It leads to breakup of our personality. So transcending the pairs of opposites, Dvandva and Dvaita, one gets established in pure, non-dual, conscious, blissful existence, which is absolute, which is one without a second, which is all that there is. Ekam eva dvitiya nanasti kinchana. The presence or absence of anything, anyone, or any situation makes no difference to such an independent existence. It's coming to the same point what I already spoke. Remaining undisturbed through presence and absence of any time, any place, any object, any person, any experience, any memory, any thought, is the discovery of our own independent existence. So make yourself available to be undisturbed every moment. Try, work towards it. It is not going to happen just like that. We have to work towards it consciously. The presence or absence of anything, anyone, or any situation makes no difference to such an independent existence. So, who am I? I am that who is undisturbed by presence and absence. And for this, Jnaneshwar Maharaj has given us the third chapter, Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. You replace all the thoughts by the name of the Lord or Om. Then what will happen as you keep chanting Om? A point will come where the gap between two Oms keeps becoming longer and longer. And then what is the discovery? The discovery is I am the observer, I am the witness of the presence of Om, and I am the witness of absence of Om. Then again Om will come, again I am it's coming because mind, it has become a japa jap, mind is automatically chanting it. But now you are available. You are not doing the chanting, it is happening in the mind. You are not doing mother and daughter, they happen. So now Om is happening to the mind. And mind loves variety. But when there is only Om, 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 mind says, hey, same thing, it will slow down. What's the point of saying the same thing again and again? But we must continue to chant Om, Vaikhari, loudly. And when it slows down, you will automatically find yourself observing the appearance of the Om, disappearance of the Om, appearance of the Om, disappearance of the Om. And by God's grace, one day, your attention, rather than watching, witnessing the appearance of the Om and disappearance of the Om, the attention will go, who is the one who is watching? If that reversal of attention happens as a result of this purification, it can happen at this moment also. But when done with all this preparation, then there is no question of falling back into the presence and absence as real. See? It's simple technology, not very difficult, nothing complicated in it. Only little bit cool head and understanding is required, and self-assessment is required that what is being told is beneficial to you or not. If it is, then apply. If not, then continue as you are in the world. Who cares? The student, on hearing the above, can be imagined to explain, "Ha, now I have understood. I, Jnaneshwara, Maharaj, is quick to knock down the premature sense of achievement." This feeling, even while in the satsang, inside the mind keeps prompting, "Ah, yeah, I am there. That's it. Yeah, Yahoo." But don't get elated. And towards that, he says the next OV as a warning to the student. Vari ekapane ganize te ganite nasi duze manavni he na ganize aise eka. What is this? This is like Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. If it is referred to as one by someone, then that person who is referring is creating the two-ness. If we say it is Ekameva Dvitiya Nanasti Kinchana, if you just say Ekameva Dvitiya, it is incomplete statement. It is one without a second. So you are saying the one with reference to second. Yes, you have deleted the second without the second, but you use the word without the second to prove that there is only one. The second part is important. Nanasti kincha, with no otherness. With no otherness. So if it is referred to as one by someone, then that person who is referring is creating the two-ness. Therefore, it is such a one which is not included in the counting of 1, 2, etc. Meaning, it is the absolute one. Are you the aham with reference to thoughts? Or are you the aham which is independent of all aham and idam? This is given in the Mundaka Upanishad. Do Suparna. 2 birds. One is extrovert, one is introvert. One is established in the self, the other is looking around. Same thing we saw in the story of Puranjan in Bhagavatam. The 2 friends are moving, one is Avigyat and the other is Puranjan. Puranjan is looking at the beauty of the earth and Avigyat is content in himself. And when they go over the city of Puranjani, the Puranjan looks at her and falls in love and immediately falls from the UFO and lives thousands of years together with her. Goes through 2-3 lives, then Avigyat comes to him to deliver him back. Hey, you forgot. Same way our Guru Maharaj comes into our life to remind us who we are. Jnaneshwara Maharaj has come into our life to remind us. Therefore, it is such a one which is not included in the counting of 1, 2, etc. So we are the absolute one. Just like Sat, Chit, Ananda are not words which can stick to that reality. There is no word which can stick to the reality, not even the word absolute one. So we have to take it with a pinch of salt. When we use these words, we have to see what they indicate. And what they indicate is the real me, the real self that I am. Not some concept, not just some idea, not some experience with reference to something. No, it is the independent one, and that I am. With that, we'll conclude here today and we'll look into this verse in our next class. So contemplate in this manner. What is the exercise for the week? Exercise for the week is remain aware, remain aware, remain aware. Remain aware. Remain aware of, not of the world, not of the thoughts. Don't remain aware of. Just remain aware. And if at all, if we want to use the word, because we can't stop thinking, remain aware of the self. Be the awareness itself, in whose presence everything is taking place. That is our exercise for the week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.